The rest of the pardons were by Autopen. Are they even legit?
Well, these are the questions.
Who knows? Who knows, right? And it's interesting now, all this time later, we're seeing so many significant people, including the vice president, come out and say, yeah, well, we should have done this. We should have questioned this. And yet they let this man do, or let these people around this man do what they wanted to do with no oversight of it.
A wide open border. President Trump will say it's 20 million illegals who came into the country under Biden's watch. Some people say it's 10 million, and we know what we know. We don't know who got away and those people. So that was one of the major policies that we want to scrutinize here.
Well, yeah, and I was thinking about what he said this weekend about that the country's in its dark days and that people should rise up against President Trump, with what Biden said this weekend. And I'm like, we had 15 to 20 million illegal immigrants coming in this country.
Right.
We had gas prices and grocery prices that were out of control. We had violent crime in these cities that was so bad that we couldn't even, people were afraid. They were moving out of cities because it was so bad. And then also we had men playing in boys sports. I mean, if you talk about dark days, I mean, this is what it is.
Yeah, that's right. And not to mention things like canceling pipelines, Katie. I mean, there were so many policy decisions that at the time we were questioning. Now we know better. He may not have even known what he was doing.
A competent West Wing hands trust by being boringly procedural. And here is how. Be cleared language explaining Autopen policy. When it's used, how it's authorized, how it's logged. Standing Q&A for reporters. Here is the directive. Here is the timestamp. Here is who witnessed the president's authorization. No edging on medical basics. If a specialist visited, say the specialty and reason category. We don't comment on personnel doesn't apply to institutional process questions. When senior heads appear to filter, delay, or stonewall, the story becomes the cover-up mechanics, not the facts. That's a self-inflicted wound. If a future audit finds absent or after-the-fact directives, we're looking at process vulnerability. That is, challenges to the political legitimacy of actions, even if courts ultimately uphold them. Precedent erosion. Normalizing staff-driven execution without airtight proof of presidential intent. Oversight escalation. Subpoenas, interviews, and grinding credibility bleed that overshadows policy. If the paperwork can't prove the president decided, the public will decide the president didn't.